Right, sorry about that. So let's continue here. So we're going to keep annotating this article. The third reason, so we were spoken about how this is the list, the third reason to be skeptical. Skeptical about COVID-19 Traceback is that governments don't always mean what they say when they collect our information. If the Morrison government could be trusted not to use the information from the app for anything else, if the government could be trusted, look at this word again, trusted again, just really labouring this point. If the Morrison government could be trusted not to use the information from the app for anything else, if the government could be trusted, and we've got these ifs. It's too little. If if the government could be trusted to delete all information gathered during this period, if the government could guarantee the information won't be accessed by cyber hackers, then maybe more will sign up. But history offers little comfort. I am sucking on this highlighter today. History offers little. Okay, so we've got these hypotheticals, the ifs. So like hypothetical, well, not even hypotheticals, they're kind of like a list of like demands, I suppose, or I'm just trying to think of the word that I'm after here. If you do this, I'll do this. It's like a cause and effect in a sense. Cause and effect arguments highlight the danger or the lack of trust the public can place in the government. And she's using, it's interesting because like she's stating, she's about to use some evidence. So here she's indicating that history offers little comfort. She's introducing evidence. She's saying, look, we can't trust the government. They're baddies because history shows us so. So in 2015, the coalition government, so here we've got our first ever, she's actually going to cite an example. The coalition government introduced new laws that required telco companies to retain customers' data for 2 years, so 22 law enforcement agencies could use it to pursue people reasonably suspected of committing serious crimes such as terrorism. Critics warned this would be serious, a serious infringement of privacy, and there would be mission creep. They were right. More than 80 different agencies, most with no role whatever in pursuing serious crime, have tried to gain access to our data, including a request from Fairfield City Council to use data to find someone who dumped rubbish. Okay, so we've got an example. So we've got example of misuse of data. And this, Fairfield City Council, like earlier in the piece, she was saying how local councils can't be trusted and don't trust us. And here she's naming and shaming a local council. So she's proving her point. In 2016, here's another example. The Queensland Crime and Corruption Commission revealed that public officials unlawfully accessed government databases. Look at, and here's like clearly a reputable source. One police officer was guilty of 50 hacking offences. A dozen staff from the Australian Taxation Office were sacked in 2017 for unauthorised access to private tax records. So again, we've got, and I'm going to put this in caps, another misuse of data. And this is coming from a reputable source. So her idea again that we can't trust these people to do the right thing is shining through because she's actually being able to cite this. I just want to quickly draw your attention to, there's lots of numbers in here and they're worth mentioning. Please don't refer to this as a statistic. That is not a statistic. That is a figure, a fact or a figure. A statistic is something like, 1 in 3 people or 60% of the population, not just 50 hacking offences. That's a number. Okay, so just make sure if you're using it, use the right term. It is true that plenty of other platforms know where we go, gathering all kinds of information about us every day. But here we are dealing with the power of the state, demanding that it gathers information from us, dealing with the power of the state, demanding that it wants information from us if we are to be freed from a national lockdown. It is bad enough when New South Wales Health Minister Brad Hazzard posted a photo on Twitter of himself smiling when signing New South Wales lockdown laws last month. Shouldn't we be concerned about the federal government doubling down, using more state power to hold citizens to ransom? Ooh. Shouldn't we be concerned? Look at this rhetorical question. Of course we should be. Doubling down? So this is all rebuttal. Yeah, look, telcos get out, you sign up to Facebook, Facebook's got your data. We get it, that happens. But it's different, she's saying, when it's the government demanding it from us. And that the government, this guy is smiling as he's signing the lockdown laws, like it doesn't get it. Okay, so I'm going to have a rebuttal. Government can't be given so much power. And look at the words: ransom, doubling down, concerned. She's using really threatening language. In the first instance, when restrictions needed to be imposed quickly, it was entirely understandable that state and federal governments did not have the political bandwidth to talk about exit strategies. But the time for exit strategies is now long overdue. The Prime Minister's 40% take-up target is no reason for the media to stop asking about an exit strategy until his set criteria have been met. Over the past few weeks, the goalposts have changed from the flattening the curve and ensuring hospital capacity to this new one of 40% of Australians signing on to a government tracing app. What is next? Devising and debating Plan B should start now, so that given that Plan A is inherently flawed. Ouch, nasty one. That's there. Devising and debating should start now. So we've got this call to action. Call to action. And we've got this attack coming through as well. Again here, this is all really call to action. This is what should be happening and it's not. And the media should be continuing to question the government. The goalposts have changed. Again, it's this idea of fairness. How can Australians be, it's a hard enough time at the moment, and yet you're expecting Australians to meet all these new rules all the time. What is next? So I get this feeling from her, like she's just exhausted and she's fed up. Like, make up your mind, tell us what you want us to do, but like have a good plan and make it something that I want to believe in. So kind of fed up. The proper word for that is exasperated. She just wants good leadership. Now, the nice thing about this article is that she's written it in such a way that we can pretty easily see her arguments, can't we? She's got, the biggest hurdle, that's number one. That's going to be your first argument. The second reason, clearly she's flagging to us that her argument is shifting because she's bringing up, so here she's talking about trust, that the government doesn't trust us and so we therefore shouldn't trust them. And that all is going through here, that it's a nanny state. We're being told what we can and can't do by the government. Her second reason is different. Her second reason is about the fact that Australians will not use such an app because it goes against the cultural grain of most Australians, that they can't even get it to work in Singapore, a country that mandates compliance. But in a free country like Australia, good luck mandating that people have to sign up and give up their freedom and privacy. And then here, her third reason, so here's your next argument. Her third reason is that the government has historically misused data. That they, again, she goes back to trust, but it's the fact that there are instances where the government do not treat people's data and privacy appropriately, and so therefore they shouldn't have access to this. And then finally, she would have four, you would have four key arguments here. She's got her call for action. And her call for action is that the government don't get it. They shouldn't, plan A is no good. Think of a plan B, and the media should keep pursuing them. Okay, so that's your annotations. From here, we can start planning. All right, so we'll get on to that in class.